Thanks for... Here's a look at some of the stats for MP.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards in effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Well, we know that players often hit a wall at certain points in the season. When does that happen for coaches?
Yeah, maybe on opening night, Kevin. No, there's so much work that goes into it. Opening night is almost a certainty. But that feeling of relief does go away pretty quickly.
Let's toss it over to the sideline for news on MP's groundbreaking season.
Well, he's made history. First 3 takes in a season, and still going. Every time he touches the ball, something special can happen, and opposing defenses are working overtime to try and stop it. Back to you.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch. Thank you. And MP tries to bring out his best when he's matched up against any of the league's top teams. You know, he is so publicly, but he puts a lot of stock in games like this one.
And that's the thing about him. He loves the challenge. We've already seen how he raised his game in this kind of a situation. I know he's more than enough for this contest.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls opening lineup. We've got Bruce Ellis, and Bianco with Josh Giddey. Then there's Zach Collins. And it's Okoro in at the 3 slot. Let's it go. And it's Houston with another. Just over a minute and a half played in this one. Chicago's made 3 of 3 from 8. 9 points from the right side here in the first. Pass to Bruce Ellis. And here's MP for 3. A rebound by Shepard. For the Houston Rockets, they won their last contest in that game against the Kings. And Greg, these poised veterans really seem to have triggered a shift for the Rockets.
At the same time, it's going to be Houston's young team to turn their future. They've already shown they can make a major impact.
Well, how about MVP right there? Drilling a 3 of his own.
Finney Smith passes to Shepard. Here's Eason. Pass to KD. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline.
Well, come on, guys. Did you really think they'd shoot 100% for the game? Well, he has owned this quarter. A major reason they're up right now.
Now, Finney Smith. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Şengün kicks to KD. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over the corner. And Houston again with the bucket.
And that bucket by KD is why he is so lethal. Durant can straight up save possession.
The Bulls leading by 3. A 3 to MP. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And how about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
And we're just 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Şengün finds Eason. Here's Finney Smith. Off target from 3-point range. And so MP will bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. They are on the team right now. 7 consecutive wins. And looking for number 8 tonight.
Well, I think they've found something. I like how they're executing. They're playing with a lot of energy. We'll see if they can keep it going.
A minute 50 left in the first. A 3-pointer is right on target.
Nice bucket, MP.
A-Train's got 24.
12 straight points off of 3-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And so the timeout taken here by Ime Udoka. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. Houston with a big group substitution here. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Şengün. Jabari Smith comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Okogie's checked in for Tari Eason. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Shepard. And Chicago also making a switch. Simons is checked in. Here's Okogie. He averages about 5 points a game. Time now to go court side with Alan LaForce for a report on MP.
Well, here's what MP had to say about facing one of the best teams in the conference. Games like this are bookmarks, he said. That's when the big picture unfolds. We want to have our hands raised at the end of these chapters. Guys, back to you.
And the story continues. Hey, thank you for the report. Great, we have another up-and-comer from down under, Josh Giddey.
I mean, a lot of young talent coming to the NBA by way of Australia. Their great skill development programs showing Indians who stands 6'8" but plays like a small point guard. Matching baskets from the perimeter and today.
Sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
And so it's Houston with it, following the three-pointer by MP. Hands it with authority.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
Give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up your teammates.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
Get the perimeter.
Hey, come to me, come to me.
Van Vliet deciding what to
I
go
got
with
the
it.
outside.
Come on.
A shot, no good. Nice defense from Giddey. MP outside. There's the triple. Good, another from three. You can tell he is feeling it.
Kevin, he's on fire.
And so it's MP making things. The Bulls will go for a different look here. Patrick Williams, he's checked in for Nick Richards. Okoro comes in for Colin Sexton. MP's checked in for Anthony Simons. And Josh Giddey subbed in for Jones. We've got Fred Van Vliet. Alperen Şengün out there with Jabari Smith. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Okogie in at the shooting guard. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. MP, no good. Rockets trail by 20.
Get the perimeter.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Kicks it out to Van Vliet. Unloads from 9. Shot is good that time. Van Vliet's got 5.
And I like Van Vliet's shot selection. Terrific at looking to score when he sees the opportunity. Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Now here's Van Vliet. 5 points in the game. Pass to Şengün. They double team Şengün. Here's Okogie, covered by MP.
Erased him right at the rim. The young guy, MP, energetically going for that block.
And so the timeout taken here by Ime Udoka. He's going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Durant's checked in for the Rockets. And a change for the Bulls. Collins is checked in. 4 on the shot clock.
Stay
And Van Vliet launches it from deep. The Rockets with another miss. Chicago leading by 21. And told now by our producer, do we have you guys? Okay, we do. We have a call coming in from Shams Charania. Shams, thanks for joining us. What do you have?
There was a bit of uncertainty over the summer about whether the Bulls would stick with Billy Donovan or not. He also received some interest from the Knicks, but that was cleared up when the organization chose to extend him on a multi-year deal. It cements his role with the team as they continue to build. Guys, the Bulls have committed to Billy Donovan for the long haul.
He knows his stuff. Hey, Shams, thank you very much. And Durant gets it to go.
Just working his way inside there. Durant so good at just finding his shot all over the court.
Such a wide open look. A-Train's got 42 in the game.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Here's Durant. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
The 3 from MP. Another 3 for Chicago.
Got to contest MP from out there. He is more than capable from 3.
Here's the 3. And again, Kevin Durant. Durant's got 14 points.
Well, this is shaping up to be a special night for him. Started out well and is only turning it up here in quarter two.
So for the Rockets, Dorian Finney-Smith checked in for Şengün. Tari Eason comes in for Steven Adams, and Shepard subbed in for Fred VanVleet. The Bulls making a change here as well. Bruce Ellis is checked in for Guerschon Yabusele. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Mavericks was tremendous. He ended up with 44 points, and as we've come to expect, he contributed from the three-point line as well. He was really special in that game, and they're hoping he can repeat that kind of performance tonight. Guys, back to you.
Nice work there, Allie. Thank you. Greg, how impressive was it watching him completely take over?
Unstoppable. They won that game because of his effort and just his overall relentlessness.
Yeah, and we're likely to see them go to him early on. See if he can't replicate that performance.
Okay, time and again for three.
Another three. I'm not sure I've seen a better three-point shooting night.
They just keep pouring in. This is a top 5 all-time single game for three-point shots made. KD can't get it to go.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
And here's MP for three. Lets the three fly. Connects again from distance.
It has been raining threes for him tonight, alone at 4th in the all-time single-game triples list.
Guys, he cannot miss. They have to keep feeding him. How many more can he hit? Let's keep counting.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Now, here's Collins. From three.
And guys, this is a historic shooting night for him. Tied for 3rd now, most threes in a game.
The points, GA, just keep piling up, and the threes keep dropping in. He is red hot from beyond the arc. Here's Smith, and he uses the glass on the layup. Smith's got his second basket of the night.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And again.
And he has all the tools and the desire.
Now tied for second most 60-point games. What a career he's in. My goodness. Eason gives a wide open look. That's good, and it's KD with the assist.
Timeout.
Durant's got 3 assists tonight. Chicago calls timeout. And so it's the Chicago Bulls, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. And we'll be back with you shortly.
This dunk contest is going to be legit. We've got some athletes, boy.
You're right, man. Some serious high rises in this field.
And time to talk now about that first half. What a dominant display for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, they are letting it fly. We need an air traffic.
Thanks for spending halftime.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. A-Train has been sensational.
And the bulk of his damage so far has come from the perimeter. A lot of threes early on.
And defensively, they're giving him too many good looks out there. They need to start running him off the line.
So for Chicago right now, Collins is out there with Bruce Ellis. Then it's Isaac Okoro. Then it's Josh Giddey. And it's A-Train in at the 2-guard. Here's Durant. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It goes on Isaac Okoro.
And Durant, one of the toughest players to defend, especially when he's using that shot fake.
And no questioning the greatness of Kevin Durant. But, Greg, trying to get back into championship contention.
Yeah.
And again for three.
Keep shooting that,
And what a fireworks display he's shown us tonight. Just keeps knocking them down from deep.
Greg, he has just exploded from beyond the arc. That last make tying him for second in most threes in the game. And Şengün throws it down.
Even without the explosive athleticism, Şengün still able to play above the rim.
Okoro passes to A-Train. Good, another from three.
And he's outclassed his own previous record. A new number for the second most single-game triples. Just a master cannoneer.
Firing away and making a little history in the process. What an honor to witness this. What an honor to be here. He is, quite simply, as good as you'll ever see from long range. Pass to KD. And good. He got the English that time as it falls. KD's got 18 points in the game.
Really like how Durant is playing tonight. Going for his, this guy is just so unreal. And they have been relentless. You see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Şengün passes to Shepherd. Just 5 to shoot. It's stolen by Buzelis. Here's Okoro. Yep, it counts.
I got it.
And here is KD. He's got 18. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. From 11 feet away, and it's wide right. It's off the rim. Enzo MV will bring it up for Chicago. Good, that's another bucket.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA, really taking it to the opposition. And coach, for teams defending the pick and roll, you often hear coaches talking about being at the level. What does that mean?
Well, Kevin, what it means is the guy guarding the screener, the defender guarding the screener, has to be all the way up with that guy at the point of the screen, as opposed to being in drop coverage.
It again, wow.
Unreal. He's got the 4th most points ever in an NBA game. This man is on another planet.
I mean, what can you say? One of the all-time individual games in NBA history. Durant with a wide-open look. Another miss by Houston.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Another one goes. Incredible.
He has been simply unstoppable.
And he's now third all-time for points in a game. 1 for the ages.
Well, he led him with the pass there, almost like a quarterback timing a route. That was impressive.
And another one falls.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. Dunked by Eason.
Well, that's what you want. Get him the ball and see if he can close the gap.
Eason's got a nice night underway, shooting 6 of 9 from the floor. Hits it from three-point range.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
And it seems like Josh Giddey playing with newfound confidence, coach, since his arrival with the Bulls in Chicago.
Yeah, one of those trades that seem to benefit both teams. The Bulls have handed Giddey the keys to their offense, and he has not looked back. Well, when they're playing off you, you have to make them pay. And he
wasted no time on that one.
Well, tonight has been the MP show. And guys, they have to keep it simple. Just keep feeding MP the ball and keep seeing him add to that point. Get ahead.
Shots good by Durant.
And not only is he putting up the numbers, but he's doing it at a very efficient rate. Exactly when his team needs it.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Pass to Şengün.
Hey, front him!
Here's Houston. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws. It's going to be on MP. And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the officials.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original.
The previous play is under review.
A lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see...
After review, the ruling on the floor stands.
At which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And here's MP for three. Connects from three-point range.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Fred VanVleet out there with Durant. Then it's Alperen Sengun. Then it's Jabari Smith. And it's Adams in at the center. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
Well, looking at Simon's assist numbers, they've skyrocketed over his time in the NBA.
Rockets have gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. VanVleet passes to Sengun. Now here's Durant. The 3-ball.
Yeah, way to get that rock, man.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
A-Train, the pass to Yabusele. And what an avalanche!
And that score moves him up in the record books yet again.
He now stands, Greg, alone for second place for points. What an unbelievable night. KD passes to VanVleet to stop the run. The rebound by Yabusele.
Well, I hate to say it, but he hasn't done a lot to help their cause tonight. He's been a little erratic on the floor.
Since the three-pointer. A-Train's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Well, they wouldn't be in the position they're in without his contribution. He has tormented this defense tonight.
Here's Durant. And that one, good. Durant's got 22 points.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability.
And yep, another basket.
And he's nearing the single-game franchise record in scoring.
Absolutely on fire. Already a night to remember and approaching some history to boot. Hits the three-point bomb.
Supreme confidence. Smith really stretches the floor with his ability to shoot.
And here's MP for three. Connects again from distance.
He's scorching hot. Another three.
And he's approaching the franchise record for threes in a game. Here's KD. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
He can make a shot. That certainly includes the mid-range.
And here's MP. He got it again. Sensational.
Tonight is one more for the history books. Once again, he sets the record for most points ever in an NBA game.
And it may not come as a surprise from him, but goodness, we got to acknowledge his greatness. What he is accomplishing is nothing short of legendary.
So it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Bulls.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and look at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for A-Train.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
For three, Durant. tries to keep
And even in hostile territory, the fans have to respect what he's done here tonight.
You know, Greg, he's filling it up and giving them their money's worth with his terrific performance.
Well, this is an historic performance we're witnessing tonight. He's been getting anything he wants, and the defense simply has no answer.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for rounds. Tari Eason comes in for Smith. And Shepard subbed in for Fred VanVleet.
And look at Durant using that long stride to stay out ahead on the break.
100 points on Richie now. 115 points. This game broke the NBA record.
And of course it falls for him. That three
go.
The history books.
Broke the NBA record of the most threes and the most points.
And by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg,
earlier in the day, you were described by one of your opponents as not a problem. Then you put up a season high against him. Anything you want to add?
Don't start none, won't be none. That.
Kevin, over to you.
All right, Dominic, thanks.
Should I continue, or should I just end the stream? So happy that I broke the record. Very happy right now. Didn't really expect myself to beat it. But, yeah.
NBA is no joke, okay? For real, it's no joke. But MP going out there putting up points like that as a rookie, he's different, man. He's different.
Even got Carlos and D Towns just saying that to me, and D Towns. Wow. Well, I'm gonna end this stream. Maybe later in this day, we'll start live streaming again, playing that in park. So, yeah. See ya. And, yeah. And also, if you want a 2K friend or a good boy build, that's alright with me.
What's up, MP?